with the screw job. But we will start with my topic this week, and that is the news coming from Turner Media of AEW Collision and the things that were announced at the launch party event thing that they did Wednesday afternoon prior to AEW Dynamite. Before we get into the actual, I guess, news of the announcement, did Turner just decide to troll and be like, Tony Khan goes on and goes, I'm going to make a big announcement next week. See, I'm doing my Tony Khan impersonation because I just opened up my eyeballs as far as humanly possible, and I'm trying not to blink while I have this conversation. This is really hurting my eyes. I'm really trying not to blink during this situation right now, and it really hurts. Fuck, oh my God. How does he do this? How does he do this and not blink?
It's cocaine, brother.
It's got to be cocaine.
He's actually AI. He's actually AI. He's not.
God, that hurts so bad.
He's actually not even real.
So he goes on last week and makes I'm going to make a big announcement, and then they're like, "Hey, about that announcement, we're going to make it like 6 hours beforehand."
Well, but I think what happened there, because the announcement was made at the upfront presentation,
right?
So like there was no way that it was going to be kept quiet for 8 to 10 hours.
No. Because
there's media and all of that there, so they might as well have leaked it, which I guess then the announcement became the dates and the locations,
which makes sense.
It was like June 17th. We still don't know that. So last week he announced an announcement. This week, during his announcement, he announced an announcement for next week as well, which is the location of the debut episode.
So during that announcement, he'll have another announcement about the first talent signed for the show on the 17th, which will end up being just Phil peeling into the camera going, "Hello."
They're just going to throw guys in that show and that's it. No draft and all that shit.
We don't know yet. There hasn't been any formal declaration.
I was going to say, I feel like this is as questionable as like life after the WWE draft. Like, what are they going to do with the tag titles? We have no fucking idea.
Maybe
I don't think they have any fucking idea.
Yeah. Mike, do you have the dates for? I have the locations for the first.
If you have them, just go ahead.
I don't have June 17th. We still don't know. That's going to be announced next week during Tony's next
we'll
free announcement.
We'll talk about that in a moment. We'll get to that.
And then after that, through July, through the rest of June and through July, they go Toronto, Ontario, Hamilton, Ontario, Regina, Saskatchewan, Calgary, Alberta, and Newark, New Jersey.
Is Calgary the finals of the Owen Hart Classic?
Yes.
Okay. I thought so.
Yeah, so they had kind of tipped their hand in a way, and not that they've been like I joked on Twitter that this is one of the worst kept secrets, but they had
when they announced the Owen Classic,
Owen Hart last week, and they said that the finals would be on a Saturday night.
Yeah, it was either that or they were putting like a Battle of the Belts.
Yeah, like they could have done a special, but we were all starting to put the pieces together.
Yeah, because we read, we do journalism.
Yeah, we do journalism.
We do journalism. So let's pivot back to the 17th, opening night of Collision. You guys did this fun game on 3CT. Where are we going?
Like
first show.
I mean, here's the deal: if CM Punk is going to be on this brand on this show, it will be the United Center.
Did you know they rehired Ace Steel months ago and he's working remotely?
I actually didn't even know that.
PW Mania reported that a couple days ago. I just saw it today. I was scrolling through some stuff. They hired him remotely and they were going to bring him back on the road, and they haven't done it yet because of fear of the ripple effects of.
I mean,
I can't necessarily blame Tony for that decision. I mean,
for the record, there is nothing on the United Center calendar for June 17th. Now, they obviously wouldn't have this on there yet, but the date is clear.
Okay. So obviously, I think Chicago makes the most sense. You guys made the comment, Mall of America. I think there's another island that they could go to.
Where's that?
I think you have a soundbite for that. We played it a little last week, or you guys played it a little bit on 3CT last week.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Backlash was in a
Puerto Rico. To Trump, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
I don't have that on the board. That was a huge.
Damn.
Oh, that was too funny last week.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Oh, it was too good.
I can tell you this: it won't be Madison Square Garden. That was one of the places we were hypothesizing.
No chance.
Because there is there's shows
there's a concert
at Square Garden there.
Yeah, no, there's a concert there. Now, just off the beaten path, okay? The first Saskatchewan is on the western side of is that where the first Canada show is of the brand?
First Canada show. No, the first Canada show is the week after the debut in Toronto, Ontario.
Fuck. Because if they were on the west side, I would say fuck it, go to crypto.com arena and just fill LA.
I will say that because so for those that haven't listened to 3CT, first off, shame on yourself. Secondly, what couple of the places because Tim did a journalism and they're in Washington DC the Wednesday, so what would that be, the 14th?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're at Wintrust Arena, which is just outside of Chicago, the Wednesday after the debut. So we were kind of hypothesizing that they will be somewhere between DC and Chicago,
the Midwest.
So like Northeast Midwest. Now I will say again, this is just piecing things together. There is no event on the schedule at Barclays Center on June 17th. There is nothing on the calendar at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia on June 17th.
What about the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland?
Let me look there. I'm looking at a few places. So the Rocket Mortgage Field House, which it is now called.
Sorry, I got my loan companies wrong. My bad.
There might actually be some validity to this one, Mike, because there is nothing at the Rocket Mortgage Field House on June 17th, and on Monday, June the 19th, WWE Raw.
Oh, well, sorry. Let's go ahead and punt that one. That ain't happening.
Why wouldn't it though? If you're Cleveland, why the hell not?
Well, I mean, if you can get it, but I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that's going to happen.
I think that could be an interesting play.
I don't know the name of the arena in Milwaukee for the Bucks.
The former Bradley Center,
the land of 1,000 lakes, maybe.
There's nothing in Hershey, PA.
Ooh.
On June 17th. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Tony. I'm just saying.
TK, I'm just saying, dog. Do it.
There's nothing in Pittsburgh. So there's definitely locations.
Follow the cocaine, guys. Follow the cocaine. Wherever the cocaine's the best is where
South Florida.
They were just in Detroit, so I don't think they're going to go back to Detroit right away. So yeah, there's potential cities, and I mean all of those: Brooklyn, Hershey, Philly, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. All of those are good wrestling cities. So they, any of those options historically would be fine. But I really do. If CM Punk is going to be a part of this show on night one, to me the United Center is the answer. To me, it really that's the way to make your biggest debut. I did love Tim's idea of Mall of America though, because you've already copied Monday Nitro's logo, so you might as well go back to where Nitro started. It would be cool as shit.
Exactly.
What channel is the hockey game on?
It's TNT.
Sorry,
ESPN's on the Eastern Conference Finals for the NBA. So,
but EJ, to your point, like with the brand split, roster splits, all of that, they haven't made any sort of announcement on that yet.
And maybe that could be announced next week. Who knows? Maybe
it could be part of the announcement. But here's the thing too. I think they will split up the roster. I mean, they've announced, so part of the press release, they announced Miro, Samoa Joe, Thunder Rosa, Hobbs, and Andrade.
Does that mean that Samoa Joe's dropping the fucking Ring of Honor TV title?
I mean, it should, but
Thank
Tony Khan
God.
presents wrestling.
I can still see it making Ring of Honor stuff part of that show too. Also,
God,
to be
why?
honest with you, I mean, to get some shine, I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
Like-
I hate that there's no separation between the two. Now
yeah,
that
like I need some separation. Like if you want to have like a couple wrestlers wrestle on both shows, like fine, but like I don't need Samoa Joe defending the Ring of Honor TV title. I don't like Katsuya Shibata has not been on an episode of fucking AEW. Perfect. Love it.
yeah,
Don't need him.
yeah,
And I love and you're talking to one of the biggest Katsuya Shibata supporters.
I love Shibata.
right.
Shibata bread
professional-
is delicious.
Exactly. Literally though, like I don't need him defending the pure title on an episode of fucking AEW.
I don't think that AEW is going to do a
I don't think they're gonna do a hard roster split.
right. I don't think they're gonna do a hard roster split. I also don't think that they're going to like necessarily like publicly put out like these are the wrestlers that are going to be on Wednesday. These are the wrestlers that are going to be on Saturday, because I mean we're already seeing it in the WWE.
I mean,
The
also
only thing that's made Ryan mad in 5 years on 3CT is the fact that we're a month into the brand split and there's already purple line
commingling.
in the WWE. You know what I mean? So I think AEW is going to try to avoid that by just not saying
Control themselves,
guys,
right?
these are your Wednesday guys. I think we're going to get an idea of who's going to be where, but then you're going to have the ability because they're all under AEW.
There'll probably be a core group of guys on Wednesdays, a core group of guys on Saturdays, and
Yeah, sure, but like here's the thing. Perfect example. The first alleged feud for Phil from Chicago when he comes back was Jericho. You're taking Jericho off. You're taking the Jericho Appreciation Society off of Wednesday night completely.
Yeah, not a chance.
That's stupid.
No, of course not. No.
You want as many people in that crowd singing Judas as you fucking can. Let's take him off of a show. No, let's just put him on both shows.
Yeah, that song just went aluminum like 2 weeks ago. So
exactly.
Rampage is still a thing, right? Even after this.
Yeah,
so basically we're getting 5 hours of a AEW TV
correct
a week.
Yes. Now
I mean,
they EJ, because I know you were not here.
Dark Elevation, Dark.
They have officially
that's
killed off Dark and Dark Evolution, Dark.
No, I don't think they killed off both of them. I think they killed off one of them.
No, I believe they're both.
Hold on, I thought I saw something. I'll do some journalism.
Yeah,
I
thought they were both down, but
we need a journalism soundbite.
Yeah, I just don't think that. I don't think there needs to be. Yeah, because look, I love WWE. I am a WWE shill at times.
You don't say.
But like,
I would have never have guessed.
I mean, really, when you look at it, like even now, like, yeah, you've already blurred lines. You made a separation of world titles, but you still have tag champions showing up on different brands. You have a SmackDown title on Monday, and you have a Raw title on Friday. Like, there's just and like I said, you have all these dumb free agents, which we went out on length about the other week. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that it just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. And like, if I can rationalize with it because I watch every week and I know what's going on. But here's the deal: if I've never watched wrestling or haven't watched wrestling in 5 years, and all the other sports are done, and it's July 2nd, and I go, you know what? Let me tune into this Monday Night Raw thing, and I see a SmackDown champion on Raw and SmackDown tag belts on Raw, and guys showing up on both brands, but they tell me both brands are different. If they don't like explain to me why this is the way it is, it doesn't make sense, and there just seems to be some convoluted there. So I think AEW can avoid that by just not isolating guys to one roster or the other.
Okay, so it does look like they quietly announced that they are moving on from it, at least as of for now.
Yeah, that's what I thought I had read. That it's not. They're not opposed to doing it again in the future, but for right now, they're focusing their energy to their TV.
And they don't need YouTube anymore with them having this new deal now, the new TV show, and then we're hearing about the streaming rights also on Max, the new HBO Max once next week is a thing next Tuesday. They'll have a larger platform to put their stuff out and content and whatnot, so they don't need YouTube anymore at this point, other than this extra shit.
So let's see. The Jamie Hayter injury.
Was that during the match yesterday?
No, she was pulled before.
Okay.
So she might be banged up, so that's why they pulled her from this. So that they were good.
Did we get any clarity on matches for the because there is a preview coming another week or so, and there was only 2 matches confirmed, I think, last week.
Right? Versus Christian in a ladder match.
Okay.
Because that's what we need. 45-year-old Christian in a fucking ladder match.
Let's go.
Not kidding. Why is it a fucking ladder? What are we doing?
Because we need to watch another part of our childhood crack his fucking cranium off.
Yeah, so the card's starting to form.
We'll talk about that on next week's episode, right? Is that the go? Is our episode next Thursday the go home?
It is. I also won't be here next week.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. So we got to do 2 previews then next week.
We have the Pillars 4-way. MJF, Sammy, Jungle Boy, Darby Allin.
Yep. Saturday and Sunday, buddy.
Fuck.
There's also an NXT show Sunday night, by the way.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So all 3 of our topics are going to be previewing the fucking shows next week. Awesome. Love it.
FTR versus Jarrett and Lethal for the tag titles.
You already know the title for the next week's show. Previews 2.
Wardlow versus Christian in the ladder match for the TNT title.
I swear to God, if our title next week isn't previews 2 Electric Chair Boogaloo, I swear to God, someone's getting fired.
I'm doing it. It's in.
Somebody's getting fired.
Cash it in, baby. It's in.
Orange Cassidy versus 20 other superstars in a 21-man blackjack battle royal for the international title.
So it's the Casino Battle Royale. Find a way to get the title off of him.
What's the twist of this one though?
Nothing. He's going to be the 21st entry. He's going to get eliminated by whoever wins the fucking title. It is what it is.
Okay.
Why would a champion? Because he issued the challenge.
Because he's a fighting champion, Jim. Did you not hear the promo?
It's so dumb. It's so
Jesus.
Why would a challenge? Why would
Cassidy, man? Whatever.
Why would a champion go? Yeah, I'll take on 20 guys in a battle royal.
Because literally this is what he did afterwards.
Exactly. He doesn't give a fuck. Let's go.
Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm.
Hayter's gonna hate
for the women's world title, assuming she's healthy.
Yeah.
Then we have the Blackpool Combat Club taking on the Elite in the Anarchy in the Arena match, and then you have Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie in the TBS Championship
in the rematch of Who Gives a Shit.
So every match, well, I guess there's half the matches have a stipulation on them. So.
Great. Fucking 7-hour show. Can't wait.
Woof.
More on that next week. But let's get back to Collision before we pivot away anymore. What is, I guess, Saturday nights? What is it? 6:05?
It is an 8 to 10 show.
Yeah. What is, I guess, what's the ceiling then in your guys' mind for? Like what do you think it maxes out at? What do you think is a acceptable floor? Because Saturday from 8 to 10, I feel that's a rough time slot. Because let's peel the layers back here. Come fall time, you're going to be going up against ABC game of the week most of the time. Potentially NBC at the Notre Dame game if they play late. Big 12 football.
NBC is going to have prime time on Big 10 every week.
Mm-hmm.
This year.
So literally fall time, you're gonna be going up against the Gambit, and then hey, by the way, when college football season ends, you're gonna have NFL games on Saturday.
Right. So they're gonna have 3 months to launch this thing and really try to impress enough people to say, hey, listen, we have a show here June, September. Then they're fucked because like you said, you have college football, you have the NFL, you have NFL, Saturdays, you're gonna have other shit around that, but you probably won't get any time to breathe until probably say February next year.
Yeah, and then on top of it, even in by some stretch of the imagination, then you run into the holidays, then you run into everything else, and now you're going up against Christmas specials, the Thanksgiving parades, you're going up against things that are almost impossible.
So if you look at numbers, Mike, though, look at numbers in terms of so Rampage averages what between 300 500,000 on Friday nights.
That's the thing. I don't necessarily want to look at you can bring up the numbers and that's fine. The numbers aren't for me because I feel like the numbers are always skewed. Like when you talk about WWE, depending on who's reporting them, they're always skewed downwards because there's WWE hate.
But But isn't the numbers that's reported by Meltzer and guys are Nielsen numbers, not necessarily?
I mean, unless I'm getting the report that's like copywritten by Nielsen, like I don't believe any of what any of them say. I truly don't, because at the end of the day, 1.702. You know what? Fuck it. They got 702,000. Let's just round it up to 1.8.
Yeah, of course.
No,
WWE does all the time too.
But WWE has 1.702 and it's now 1.7. That's what I'm getting at. Like the Melchers of the world like to round that number up when it's one company and round that fucker down when it's another company. And that's why I don't necessarily love reading the numbers from the journalists of the world, because it's skewed to whatever company that they feel that they want to push that week. Meltzers of the world. Oh yeah, New Japan. They sold X amount of Wrestle Kingdom shows on Fight.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, but what was their number on NJPW World or whatever? Oh, we don't know. We don't know that number. Then why the fuck are we reporting what a number is? Like, what the fuck? See, that's my problem. I obviously numbers is what they're worried about. Them being Turner.
Yeah, of course.
But do they have do they go in with low expectations because it is a fucking Saturday night at 8:00?
I think we also overrate numbers as a whole. I think what we realized that, because remember, and Jim could speak this also too, especially too with a lot of wrestling, podcasts out there who, was saying AEW won't get a new TV deal and this and that, it'll be fucked. And here we do. They got a new TV deal. New streaming deal on the way now too. Also, clearly these networks care about one thing: content, and that's what Tony's willing to give them. Content.
But here, let's peel this layer back then. Okay. SummerSlam, Ford Field, August 5th, correct? What day of the week is that?
Saturday. Right, it's Saturday. Right?
Yeah, WWE's doing Saturday shows.
Wow,
very smart, by the way, for the record.
Wow, can't wait to see what that fucking rating's like when they're in fucking Regina. We're just gonna teabag all over that fucking show. Literally, you're going up against the fucking third biggest show of the year. Like, what? Like,
but it does.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. Numbers don't matter,
right?
Because you're going up against insurmountable things. You're not going to move the show to fucking Sunday because WWE's doing a pay-per-view on Saturday.
You live with it. That's it. You just deal with it. And
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't think numbers is something that we can grade this on it being a win or a lose.
And I go back to what I said way back too, also like 3 years ago on this podcast, that I think we underrate on-demand numbers too. Also, people don't make people like me. I watch other than pay-per-views. I watch on everything on demand, like after the fact.
I mean, okay, think. Let's look at what the rest just the wrestling week is going to be when this show debuts.
Don't even fucking tell me. I mean,
3 hours of Raw on Monday. 2 hours of NXT on Tuesday.
Yep.
2 hours of Dynamite on Wednesday. 2 hours of Impact on Thursday. Is Ring of Honor an hour or 2 hours?
I think it's most of the time it's an hour, but I could be wrong about that.
And they're weekly TV now, right? Are they weekly TV?
So an hour-ish of Ring of Honor on Honor Club.
Okay.
Friday, you have 2 hours of SmackDown. 1 hour of Rampage.
Rampage.
You have NXT Level Up. Then Saturday, you will have 2 hours of Collision. That doesn't count
PLEs.
MLW when they resume producing content. That doesn't count. Does the NWA still do it weekly?
I think they do.
So an NWA weekly.
I've heard
that doesn't count the New Japan show that airs in the US, which I think airs on Friday.
Yeah.
Then that doesn't count like tomorrow night, when the 3 Count Boys are going to an independent wrestling show. That doesn't count anything that you can get independent wrestling streaming on Premier Streaming Network, Fight TV, independentwrestling.tv.
Fuck.
That doesn't count weekends like next weekend where you get WWE Night of Champions, AEW Double or Nothing, NXT, whatever the fuck their pay-per-view is called.
Battleground.
Is it? I still can't believe that it's fucking Battleground.
It is.
But the week to week, there is fucking just 20, 25, 30 plus hours of wrestling just from
across
the major
across
companies.
across 6 days.
Across 6 days. So it is virtually impossible to be a week to week every wrestling show viewer. Virtually impossible.
Unless you're Dave Meltzer.
Shit, I'm struggling to keep up with the fucking
If somebody
mainstream
wants
shit.
if somebody wants to pay me to do it, I'll do it. Give me a call. Pay me a salary. I'll make sure I watch all the shit.
But it tells you though, Jim, though, that these companies care about content.
Well, right, and that's the thing. That's why every company has a YouTube channel. Every company has social media. So, like, if
it's clicks,
right, exactly. So, but there's always on-demand numbers, and the thing too, I saw a report last week that YouTube TV is the only TV service, like in the country, streaming or satellite or cable, that gained subscribers in 2022. Okay. Only one. YouTube TV is the only one.
And it's probably going to be the only one that gains it in 2023 also because of them getting the fucking
Sunday ticket.
Exactly.
So like that tells you right there that traditional TV numbers, as much whether Vince Russo or Eric Bischoff or Dave Meltzer or vaginal dryness in a voice form, Brian Alvarez, will tell you these traditional numbers don't mean now. Granted, for the only people that it matters are stockholders for these TV conglomerates and the TV people themselves. But as AEW has proven, because everybody wants to go, well, they started at 1.4 and now they're getting 700 every week. Well, guess what? They're about to fucking write a check that nobody is going to be able to count the number of numbers reportedly that are on this goddamn check. So from their media company. And EJ, I know I saw a tweet from one of your guys that is a known AEW hater that was talking about how like Warner Brothers been making a huge mistake.
Was that Denny G?
Yeah, by like putting this much money in AEW. But the point is, compare, and this is what I always tell people: compare what would air on those channels in those time slots if AEW gets pulled off the air.
Big Bang Theory.
It's gonna be fucking Big Bang Theory. It's gonna be reruns of House. It's gonna be
Young Sheldon, dog. What do you mean?
It's gonna be the Shawshank Redemption on a Saturday night on TNT.
Turner Classic Movies, dog.
You know what I mean? Like,
double overtime, guys.
So, like, the point is, like, AEW, even if they're not getting the same numbers that they got when the show debuted, they're still getting more than the alternative, and they're still near the top of the cable ratings. If people want to talk numbers, this is the shit they forget to write in the article. They're still near the top of the cable ratings on a consistent basis. Now, there's going to be outliers. Yeah. Election night, like, you know, our election coverage or fucking
State of Union,
you know, State of the Union, or like times when you're in hockey playoffs, basketball playoffs, World Series, whatever. But for the most part, AEW is near the top, and that's all that Warner Brothers cares about.
Right. We need to get his mindset of comparing everything to years ago. Those days are over.
And they're never coming back.
The way we look at TV, the way we look at content, it's over. It's so different now.
The problem is, and I don't think it's just television. I think it's 95% of things in general.
Well, it's everything. Podcasting, name it, yeah.
Well, no, it's the who's the better basketball player, LeBron or Jordan? Well, they played two completely different eras of the game.
Right.
We're in a completely different era of professional wrestling in the way that people look at it and the way that people grade television and the way that people watch the shows. Like, you can't sit here and be like, oh, it's this guy because he did this, this, and this. Yeah, but he did it in a time where it didn't matter, or he did it in a time where, you know, defense struck, or whatever the fucking bullshit, whatever excuse or reasonings that people want to make. It's just one of those where I look at it like, just because, you know, we do things differently doesn't mean that, like, it's not a success. I think success is putting on a good show, getting your live attendance to where it doesn't look like the building is like 3/4 of the way empty on a Saturday night. Like, I think we start with, you know, not to sound stupid, but I think we start with baby steps. I think you get through the Canada loop, because I think the Canada loop will sell out no matter who's on the show. Because Canadian wrestling fans are probably some of the most rabid wrestling fans in
and
all of the world.
They don't get a ton of like US based shows
Nope.
year
So,
in year out. I mean,
so
like
it's
WWE
this
makes
is
1 or 2 runs a year.
I mean, this is the smartest thing they could do. They do the first show in Chicago where Phil comes back, and then you do the next 6 Saturday in Canada.
Yeah.
This is fun. I mean, as much as I like to dunk on Tony Khan for doing stupid shit, like this is the one that I actually kind of have to tip the cap and be like, hey, he got one right.
Yeah, this is a smart play. This right here is a smart play.
Collision is going to be a live 8 to 10 live, right? Live show. Yep. Okay.
So
I'll be watching.
Looking at the roster right now.
Okay.
And then we can move on. Give me, and no, you cannot take the cheap answer of Phil from Chicago. Give me 3 wrestlers that you want to be. I can't say the word exclusive because I think they'll end up on Dynamite at some point.
Right.
But if you want them to be the quote pillars of Collision.
And let's go ones that were not announced in this press release.
Correct.
Miro, Samoa Joe, Thunder Rosa, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Andrade.
Okay,
I would agree with that assessment. So give me 3 that you want to be the pillar, I guess, of Collision, because obviously, you know, the easy one on paper is Phil, and if Phil goes and his first feud is Jericho, you know, those are pretty easy ones that you want to be pillars. So Ernest, you go first. Give me a name.
Look at it. Shoot. Claudio will be nice name on there for starters. Was he mentioned on there at all?
He was not mentioned in the press.
Yeah, that's a Claudio. It's my Claudio. Got some names that you actually know that people wrestling fans are familiar with.
Okay, I don't hate it. The first name I'm going to bring up is a guy who I think is going to leave Double or Nothing with a title belt. And what more important place to put a title belt than on a new show? Who better to put in the middle of Canada than Canada's favorite son? Christian.
Oh, okay.
It writes itself, right?
I mean, if he walks out of Double or Nothing with the title, you'd be stupid not to put him on the fucking shows.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to come out and wrestle every night either. You let him wrestle in Toronto, you give him the next week off. You let him wrestle over here, you give him the next week. Like, just get him on the show. Have him do commentary. Have him do a promo. Somebody call him out for next week's show. I think that's just, like, again, a name that you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stability.
Yep.
Jim?
Man, if this guy wasn't hurt, I'd say Dante Martin.
Mm.
It's a good one.
But
his ankle is still randomly floating somewhere that it shouldn't be. Yep. Pretty much.
You know what? If we're talking name and being recognized and all of that, I'm gonna go to a guy that's like similar to why like one of the first names announced and like the guy who was your first champion when the company started. But let's put Jeff Hardy on Saturday night.
Oh, Jeff Harvey.
He's back. He's in the game. Let's get him over there on Saturday night. That people love him, dude. Like, you know, let him showcase himself over there.
Let him gyrate like he's having a seizure.
That's right.
Ernest?
Look at the female roster real quick. I mean, obviously, Hayter's the world champion. Laura Jade. We will still say Britt Baker's still the most popular female on the roster still. Name value anyway.
I would tend to agree with that. Yeah.
So she'll probably be a Dynamite staple. So throw Jay Cargill on there or something.
The TBS champion defending the title on TNT.
TNT.
I mean, they've already been doing that anyway.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
the man that brought it here was garbage. I will go on a limb, and I'm going to take a tag team here. We hated the shit out of them, and then they had a really cool entrance whenever they lost the titles to FTR. Give me the old ass boys.
Oh,
fucking hell! Okay,
I just you need those antagonist fucking pricks on the show.
You need people to hate.
And if you put Jeff and Matt Hardy on there, perfect fucking first feud for the tag team division. Fucking the Hardy Boys versus the Ass Boys. They're easy fucking people to hate. It's just, it's one of those where it's like, yeah, you want all the people that you like on the show. You don't want to fucking watch people you don't like. But you need that person that just, when you come on the TV, you just boo the shit out of them. And
Right.
like, insert Austin and Colton Gunn.
There you go. I would put Nyla Rose over there.
Okay. I like that one.
You can reboot her?
And kind of use this as an opportunity because now, like, she's away. Like, Vicky Guerrero's not in the company anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you can kind of get back to the idea of Nyla Rose just being like a world beater and let her go on like a dominant run over there.
My next guy actually is kind of similar situation. I would, put Brian Cage there, kind of reboot him.
I don't hate it. Last one for me. I don't necessarily know that I think that it's a reboot that this guy needs, but I feel like he just needs to kind of get away from where he is right now. It's Ethan Page.
Okay. I like that.
When he came into the company after the run at Impact, a lot of people, myself included, thought that it was going to lead to something bigger than what it's led to. And this alliance with Stokely Hathaway or whatever, with the Firm or whatever, and Big Bill, and now he's teaming with the Ass Boys in a 6-man tag match, I believe, at Double or Nothing at the buy-in or whatever. I'm at the notion where I think an Ethan Page reboot wouldn't be the worst thing for Ethan Page, because he is good enough on the mic to carry himself. He is good enough in ring to be a solid workhorse on that show. So, I like Ethan Page here. What day is the first episode again?
17th of June.
Okay, so the Thursday before, we're probably gonna do a draft, because we're gonna draft it because that's what we like.
Good
to do
idea. Wait, aren't you on vacation that week too, Jim? Or
I'll be gone that week as well.
Okay, then we'll move to the week before, so Jim's here, so we can do teams too. We'll figure it out.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Drafting.
My last, well, not person, but people that I will move over is Adam Cole and the Bay Base.
Yes.
So move Cole over there, move Roddy Strong over there, and then when he gets healthy, or it's like a wedding thing or something or other,
mm-hmm.
I would have Cool Kyle. I would have Cool Kyle show up there on a Saturday night.
O'Reilly's. There it is.
I would have him show up over there. Speaking of showing up, boy, what a more appropriate way to say I'm into this. But speaking of showing up,
how was Fast X?
It was amazing. It was everything that I wanted it to be, and then some. And I really love the B plot with John Cena and the kid on just like this cross-country getaway.
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing. Anyway, all right, two things. I was sort of listening to the conversation before you let me on for the last like 2 minutes. So two things I want to say to at least respond to something Mike just said, and then respond to Jim's t-shirt, because obviously I have to. One, Ethan Page is the Robert Roode of AEW. All that potential went fucking nowhere. At least his back isn't broken yet, though. So come on, we can pull up the nose on Ethan Page at this point. Like, that's not very glorious news out of the Bobby Roode camp. That kind of sucks.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Other thing, have you ever been to WWE in New York? WWF New York?
I was there when I was a sophomore in high school. We took a field trip toward the NBC, my broadcasting club, journalism club.
Yeah, you told me about that on the podcast.
We took a field trip toward NBC Studios, and because my brother Ryan and I kind of spearheaded the idea to take the field trip. Our teacher let us pick where we wanted to go for lunch. So, of course, we picked WWF New York.
Did you steal like a magazine there? Something you told me about?
I did. I sure did. We went into like one of these like group conference rooms.
Yeah.
And we found a box of magazines, like WWF magazines. And I took one and like it was like stuffed in our bag or whatever. And when I was looking at it in the bus ride home, it was signed by, I think, Terry Reynolds. And I think they were gonna I assume hand them out at like, you know, one of the watch parties.
Right, right.
But yeah, and I still have somewhere. I still have a napkin as well from WWF New York.
Oh, nice. Rest in peace, WWF New York. Where'd Joe go?
I'm here.
No, he does this. Don't worry. Don't focus on the black screen.
Yeah, don't focus on EJ.
That's racist, man.
No, you can't say that. Don't focus on EJ. EJ's not black. We've already established this.
Allegedly.
Name amigos.
No. Next topic. I'm good.
You know what? Wait. Real quick story. The other day in the kitchen at work, someone said to someone, "Who's your favorite Migos?" And this man responded, "Casa."
He's not wrong. Casamigos, sign me up. I need a drink.
Jesus.
Should I go get the tequila?
I mean, it can't hurt, right?
Don't die. Joe, don't die now. It can't hurt.
All right.
I'm excited about this thing, though. I know it's a lot of wrestling, but I'm really excited about this.
The other thing I hope, for sure, I will watch the debut episode of Collision. My hope, and I don't know if they'll do it for the same reason WWE doesn't. My hope, even for the first episode, Jesus Christ, Joe, is that they, even if it's just for the first show, make the stage look like Monday Nitro. Please give me that for the first episode, because I'm going to be honest. Because I'm going to be honest, that's probably the only one I'm going to watch. I'm just being honest. I couldn't tell you the last time I watched SmackDown like in full.
To be fair, right? It's not just it's the AEW thing. It's more so like, just a time.
Dude, I'm already looking at my summer, and I'm already tired. I have so much shit going on. Like, it's insane. I went from like 0 to 100 all of a sudden, and I'm just like, how am I gonna live? I'm gonna die. I'm too old for this shit.
I feel you. Working 7 days a week, playing baseball Sunday mornings, and potentially trying to plan a trip to Vegas. Yeah, I feel your pain.
Fucking hell, man.
Can you imagine, like, this is one of those times where I would love to be able to, like, jump in a time machine and go back and find a pro wrestling fan who, like, sadly wasn't alive past 1985. You know, like, maybe he was a wrestling fan since, like, the 1940s and, like, literally, like, died an old man, happy and in the middle of Hulk Hogan's first run. But imagine finding that wrestling fan who is so content with his like 2 hours of wrestling a week on local TV and looking at this man and being like, one day, like 15 hours a week of new content.
Like,
from one company.
From one company.
Yeah.
And that's not even counting all of the on-demand stuff you can find.
We just went through it right now for the weekly.
I was going to say,
insane.
For those of you at home, figure out who was late without figuring out who was late.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ran down the weekly schedule, and it is insane.
It's absurd. It's fucking absurd.
This is my topic there now.
Yes, let's
give me